Hey guys, this was Coconut Conjurer. I want to talk about shadow work today. Shadow work is the ability to combine the outer person with the inner shell. We all have a shadow side to ourselves that we may not be aware of, and it drives our everyday behavior. There is a soap opera called Dark Shadows, and it's filled with lots of drama and fantasy themes. Like they were talking about vampires and time travel and parallel universes at a time where that information wasn't widely being researched. And the main character is Barnabas Collins. He's the vampire. We don't actually meet him until several episodes later. And it's funny, he wasn't even intended to be the main character, but once he came to the screen, his character took over the storyline. And that is how your shadow self works as well. He came with mind control, he fed off of people and caused so much chaos in this one town. And a lot of people never figured out it was him causing all of these supernatural events. That is how your shadow self works. The same way, it drives your behavior. If you are involved in self-destructive behaviors, if you have a hard time finding friends, if you have a hard time keeping relationships, all of that is being driven by your shadow self. And that's why it is important to do this work. You will also see people that have anger issues or people that are easily irritated. They also need to do this work. We all need to do it because, see, we can see the shadows that everyone else has. Like your shadow's like a little bag you carry behind you, so everyone can see that bag. You can't see it because it's behind you. Now, the shadow self will also cause you to not perform well. It will cause you to be insecure or downplay your traits and your skills. Yes, that's right. It's not just about repressing the negative. You will also find yourself repressing the good things about yourself. When we are children, we don't know much about the world. We only know we need to eat, we need somewhere to live, we need someone to love us. And when things come to threaten that, we take the emotions that we feel about being threatened and we push them down because we don't want to feel those emotions again. For example, say you were one of those children that maybe you were a little chubby but outgoing. And so whenever there was a play, you'd be the first one to volunteer and you loved to dance. And then someone said, oh my God, look at Jimmy, and all his fat is jiggling. And then the teacher would say, okay, well, Jimmy, you can't play this character now because, you're not the right size. You would take that and internalize that, and that would make you feel threatened because we want to feel loved, right? That's one of our basic needs. So that would make you feel threatened, and you would take that emotion and push it down, and that would also give you behavior issues, probably food issues, food addiction issues, weight issues for the rest of your life. And you would feel a certain way around this event, and it would guide you along the way with how you interact with people. Maybe you would develop an aversion to skinny people. Maybe you would develop an aversion to eating. So we all have that work that we have to do as it relates to the emotions that we all repressed as children. Okay, so now we are adults and we're ready to do our shadow work. So you probably are asking now, well, how do I begin to do this shadow work? The first thing you would do, resolve within yourself that you're a creator and you have everything you need within you. You want to spend time breathing nice and deeply. And then I would suggest you start a journal for your shadow work and actually begin to own the issues that you have that are not the most becoming. See, it's easy for us to tell ourselves how wonderful we are and how great we are, and how intelligent we are, and how fine we are, and how big our butts are, and on and on and on. It's easy to list those qualities. If I were asked to ask you, tell me 10 great things about you, you probably could tell me 20. And if I were to say, well, tell me 5 bad things about you, you would probably be like, well, I don't know. I give too much. This is how much in denial we are. Okay? So you want to be honest with yourself. You do want to be kind to yourself as well through this process. It can be scary. Some of these emotions that come up during this process will overwhelm you. So you may have to take a break. Maybe just work on one shadow aspect at a time or one per day. But you do have to be aware of the behaviors of the shadow self. So that means every interaction you're beginning to have with people after you begin this work, you have to look at it observantly as an outsider and say, how am I responding? Is this coming from a good place? Is this coming from behaviors that are driven by the shadow self? And then you want to watch your thoughts, watch how you're processing this information, and challenge yourself every time you see a negative trait in someone. Reflect how you are also guilty of having that same exact trait. So this has been a very brief lesson on how to do your shadow work. I want to hear from you, so please like, comment, and let me know that you're doing this work and how is it going for you? How is this process going for you? Like, share, subscribe, and as always, Om Shrim Brezi.